And that's how you spend the lunch break at work. All right, this one's gonna be a quick one because I gotta get back to work and he's gotta get flying, but the Comanche is up and running. It's up and flying. And today he just put some placards on the airplane, so I'm gonna show you a little bit of that. And let's ask him how things are going. Simon, how's the airplane treating you?
It's good, although I've been busy with work, so I haven't had time to do the last few bits of the mods to finish it off, the little nicety. I just got the carpet in yesterday. It still needs to come back out and get surged at some point, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's looking solid.
Yeah, I don't like doing interior work. I'm an Avionics guy. But yeah, no, it came out pretty good. Yeah, very happy. Even the old red velour interior looks good with the black carpet.
The black, I completely agree, and I'll put some snippets of video so you can see it better, but it does look really good.
I still tucked the headliner a little bit. My good friend Andrew, who put took the headliner out, put it back in for me, ran out of time, and with his job he got sent down to Miami for a week, so he's going to finish that off for me.
Sweet.
But other than that, yeah, she's looking good. Needs a good wash.
Yeah, the pollen situation in this area is horrible.
Next thing to do is, and after that, is going to be paint.
Yeah, we might you might be painting this airplane in-house, like on your own. I hope.
I'm pretty going to strip it myself.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty going to prep it myself, and then take it down to maybe Hodges, where Rick's got a spare hangar.
Yeah.
And I've got a friend who is a painter.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to
just
do a straight Matterhorn white paint, and then I'll do graphics.
Yep. Vinyl graphics.
Final graphics for the striping and the tail number.
That's the way.
And then deciding whether I'm going to go with the small tail number or the with it being a vintage aircraft.
Yeah.
I can go for the smaller tail number.
That's right.
But I think there's some issues going international.
If you go even down to the Bahamas, they're going to pretty much require you have large tail numbers.
Yeah.
The other cool thing you could do with that is you can have the static cling tail numbers, the temporary ones, and stick it on. We got looks like a Challenger. Yeah, Bombardier. Funny to see that, you know, when Gulfstream is right there. But anyways, maybe someone coming to trade in an airplane.
Trade up.
You've done a hell of a job on this airplane. It's been a long time, but you've done it all essentially on your own in your whatever spare time you have when I'm not bugging you to do stuff. So
I've had a little bit of help from Mark.
Yeah.
Mark helped me out. He was made fair because Mark's going to be doing his multi-training in this.
Yeah.
He was very motivated to help me get it.
That's working. A good trade, yeah.
So in fact, while I was away on the trip, he was at my hangar getting work done. He's become a Garmin expert now.
Oh wow! Yeah, there you go. GTN 750, GFC 500, 2 AV30s, GMA 345. Sorry. Wrong. GI 275. Don't downgrade him like that. Now you got the GMA 345, the GNX 375, and the GTR 205. We're putting placards on a twin Comanche. Nothing to see here, except a very excited owner. Now we made those placards in-house. I've got a at-home laser cutter. It's called Glowforge. There are a ton of those on the internet, but they're different units that I would recommend. But the Glowforge I've had for years, maybe 8 years, and it allows us to make placards like that. Versus the the label maker stickers that he had on there before.
I think at some point, if I redo the panel,
yeah,
I'm going to move that over to there and move that down.
Yeah.
I just don't like where that heading.
Oh yeah, you got to reach around it to.
Yeah.
It's an ergonomics thing.
Yeah, I thought it would be a bit better, but until I started flying, I didn't realize.
And that's it, right? A lot of people don't realize that. You're gonna design up a panel, but you're really only gonna know what you do when you start messing with it.
Okay, operating practices. Those three need to go together.
Mm-hmm.
That's the gear.
And all these placards, what I did was I pulled up the AFM, and the AFM had or has a list. Well, that's what I usually do. I don't know that I did this for this airplane. I just took the pictures of the old panel, but the AFM usually has, or the parts list usually has the placards that are required for that airplane. It should also be listed on the TCDS, what is required to be on the instrument panel as well. And of course, as your units change, as you remove vacuum systems and stuff, certain placards might not be required anymore. But that's a conversation between you and your A&P or favorite maintenance professional. So it looks like we've got a little gap up here. So we'll fill that in. We'll make a plate for that lower area too. A nice pretty surround. In a training airplane, I'll sometimes engrave the name of the unit next to it. So GTN 750, GMA 345. This is what, a GTX 375? Yep, 375. And then a GTR 205. I'd usually engrave them so that when the instructor says something, the student goes, oh, that's what he means. We did that on the Diamond. It just makes a huge difference when you're training with a student that doesn't know anything about avionics, or doesn't need to know anything about avionics.
I reckon left or right of the one? I reckon.
Yeah, I think in right. Yeah, it looks like you can see it better on the right. That looks good. And so there's always an argument, right? Placards versus engraving directly onto the panel. I'd prefer to have a powder coated panel, but powder coating around here is very expensive, and not a lot of shops do it. And then on top of that, you got to pay for the engraving on top on the powder coat. Now, if he decides to change anything on here, any minor thing, you'd have to re-powder coat the panel or make a new panel. If it's just a placard change, you peel off these placards and you do something else. I mean, the engraving probably looks a little bit more clean, I'd admit, but these placards are going to look just fine.
Yeah, I'm probably going to need to make some changes to this panel at some point, and,
yeah.
And I'll probably have it powder coated. This one's obviously wrapped, same as you did on the Bonanza.
Yeah.
But I would like to. I've got some ideas. I might get another GI 275 over here.
Yeah.
Move a few things around, like I said earlier. Move that over, and then I'm going to fly with it for a bit first, see how it feels, and then figure out if there's any improvements that I can make.
Yeah. Really fly it, enjoy it, and then because we do all this stuff in-house, it shouldn't be hard to get a new panel made. I know a guy.
Right now, where do we think? That needs to go that one on.
Which one's that one?
That's the pull before opening door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's looking.
Yeah, I mean, even just those few changes are making it look really nice. Sweet.
Pull these crappy stickers off now.
Now you're starting to look like a real airplane again.
Yeah. Where do you think? Up here?
Yeah, that's kind of how I did them on the Bonanza.
Or maybe over here.
If I knew you had all that space, and I should know because I designed the panel, but I would have just made them one big placard. We can redo that at some point. You got plenty of space, even behind the throttle quadrant. I think up there would be fine until you put a GI 275 over here. So you're a full up Garmin airplane other than the engine monitors, and that's pretty cool.
And as much as I love Garmin,
yeah,
I do think when it comes to engine monitors, EI and JPI do a better job than Garmin.
Yeah, fair enough.
And so there was reason by that. They were a lot more reasonably priced, and you get everything in the kit.
Yeah.
And the custom support when it comes to engine monitors, EI is second to none. You call those guys, if they don't answer, they'll call you straight back. You send them an email, they're back to you straight away. They had a clock battery issue, even though it was out of warranty, they still took care of it. So EI have been awesome. They do their engine monitors are really good.
Well, there you go. There's a product review. That's perfect. All right, man. Well, we'll get you on your way. Yeah, this might be hard to hear because I've got a windy situation, but the visors in the airplane are also done in-house. Black Lab Aviation with open source GA. That looks really good, dude. It looks like she's ready.